Ladies and gentlemen, love is often described with beautiful words, chemistry, passion, destiny. But let me tell you this, without communication, love cannot breathe. Communication is the heartbeat of love. Just like the heart pumps life into our body, communication pumps life into a relationship. Think about it. Two people may love each other deeply, but if they do not talk, if they do not express, if they do not listen, the love between them becomes silent, misunderstood, and eventually fragile. Words, gestures, and even silence when understood. These are what keep love alive. When partners communicate openly, they create a bridge of trust. They don't just share facts, they share feelings, fears, and dreams. Communication says, I see you, I hear you, I value you. And that validation is the pure oxygen of love. But when communication breaks down, what happens? Misunderstandings pile up. Small issues become storms. Distance grows even when two people sit side by side. It's not the lack of love that destroys most relationships. It's the lack of honest communication. So, how do we keep this heartbeat strong? By practicing three things: listening with empathy, not to reply but to understand, speaking with honesty, saying what you feel, not what you think the other wants to hear, connecting consistently, a simple good morning text, a genuine how was your day. These small rhythms keep love alive. Remember, love is not just about grand gestures. It is about daily conversations that weave two souls together. It's about the courage to say, I'm hurt, the kindness to say, I appreciate you, and the humility to say, I'm sorry. So, let us never forget, love without communication is like a song without melody, like a fire without warmth. If love is the body, communication is the heartbeat that keeps it alive. Keep it strong, keep it steady, and your love will endure through every season. Trust through communication. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship, and communication is the bridge that builds and sustains that trust. Imagine a house built on sand. It may look beautiful from the outside, but without a strong foundation, it will crumble at the first sign of a storm. Love without trust is the same, and trust cannot exist without the steady rhythm of communication. When two people enter a relationship, they bring with them their past experiences, their fears, their insecurities, and their hopes. Without communication, these inner realities remain hidden, and partners are left to guess at one another's feelings. Guessing, however, breeds doubt, and doubt is the enemy of trust. But when couples communicate openly about their joys, their worries, and even their mistakes, trust grows naturally. It grows because communication says, I am not hiding from you. I am showing you who I am. Trust is not built in grand moments. It is built in the everyday exchanges. A partner who listens with attention when you are tired after work, who checks in when you are silent, who shares even the smallest details of their day. These small acts of communication create a rhythm of reliability. Over time, that reliability becomes trust. Consider what happens when communication is absent. One person feels unheard, and slowly they begin to withdraw. Another feels uncertain because their partner is not sharing, and insecurity creeps in. Suddenly, trust is replaced with suspicion. Why didn't they tell me this? Why are they quiet? Why did they hide that? Most heartbreaks are not caused by betrayal at first. They are caused by silence, silence that grows into distance, and distance that grows into doubt. On the other hand, when couples commit to honest communication, even mistakes can strengthen trust. For instance, if someone admits, I made a poor choice, and I want to be honest about it. That vulnerability may sting at first, but it ultimately builds respect. Why? Because honesty proves courage, and where there is courage to speak truth, there is space for trust to deepen. Communication and trust also go hand in preventing misunderstandings. How many conflicts in relationships arise not because of malice, but because of misinterpretation? A delayed reply, a tired tone, a forgotten word. These can all be seen as rejection if left unexplained. But when we communicate, I was busy, I didn't mean to sound cold, I care about you, we replace suspicion with clarity. Clarity is the soil in which trust flourishes. Furthermore, communication strengthens trust by making partners feel safe. Safety in a relationship is not just physical, it is emotional. When you know you can express your feelings without being mocked, judged, or dismissed, you begin to trust your partner with your heart. That emotional safety creates intimacy, and intimacy is impossible without trust. In truth, communication is not always easy. It requires patience, courage, and sometimes humility. It means admitting when we are wrong, even when pride tells us to stay silent. It means listening when we want to defend ourselves. It means being transparent, even when hiding would feel more comfortable. But these difficult choices are what nourish trust, and in turn, love. So, if trust is the foundation of love, communication is the tool we use to build it brick by brick, word by word. Every conversation is an opportunity to strengthen the bond, to replace doubt with assurance, and to say through words and actions, "You can rely on me. I am here. I am open. I am yours." When communication is steady and honest, trust becomes unshakable. And when trust is strong, love does not just survive, it thrives. Understanding through communication, if trust is the foundation of love, then understanding is the doorway through which two hearts enter into deeper connection. And the only key to that doorway is communication. True love is not simply about two people being together. It is about two people understanding each other's souls. That understanding does not come automatically. It must be cultivated through words, gestures, and listening. Understanding begins with listening, but not the shallow kind of listening where we hear only words. It is about listening with empathy, listening with the intent to feel what the other person feels. When a partner says, "I had a difficult day," the goal is not to immediately offer solutions or dismiss their struggle. The goal is to lean in, to ask, "What happened? How did it make you feel?" That kind of communication tells the other person, "I want to see the world through your eyes." And when someone feels seen, understanding grows. So many conflicts in love arise not from the absence of love, but from the absence of understanding. Imagine a couple arguing about something as small as household chores. On the surface, it looks like frustration over dishes or laundry, but underneath, one partner may be feeling unappreciated, while the other may be feeling overwhelmed. Without communication, both remain locked in their separate interpretations, unable to see the truth behind the words. But when they communicate openly, "I feel unappreciated when my efforts aren't noticed," or "I feel exhausted and need help," suddenly the anger softens. Understanding transforms conflict into compassion. Understanding is also about recognizing differences. No two people think the same way, dream the same way, or react the same way. That is the beauty of love. It brings two unique worlds together. But without communication, those differences can feel like barriers. One person might express love through actions, while the other longs for words. One might deal with stress by needing space, while the other needs closeness. Without talking about these needs, both partners feel misunderstood. But through communication, by saying, "This is how I express love," or "When I'm stressed, I need a little time to recharge," understanding blossoms. And when we understand, we stop demanding that our partner be exactly like us. Instead, we begin to value who they truly are. Another important aspect of understanding through communication is the power of asking questions. Love is not mind reading. Expecting someone to know exactly what we feel without ever saying it sets us up for disappointment. But when we communicate, when we ask, "What do you need right now? How can I support you? What makes you feel loved?" we unlock doors that might have remained shut. Asking shows humility and willingness, and that creates a culture of mutual understanding. Let us also remember that understanding requires patience. In a world of fast answers and instant gratification, true understanding takes time. Sometimes your partner may not even know how to express what they feel. They might stumble, hesitate, or stay silent at first. Communication in such moments means creating space, allowing silence to breathe, and gently encouraging them to share when they are ready. That patience itself communicates, I am here, and I want to understand you fully. Ultimately, communication is not just about exchanging information. It is about exchanging emotions. When two people understand each other, they create harmony. They don't have to agree on everything, but they respect where the other is coming from. They don't just hear the words, they hear the heart behind the words, and that level of understanding makes love resilient, even in the face of challenges. So let us remember, love without understanding becomes frustration, but love with understanding becomes peace. And the only way to reach that peace is through communication, through the courage to speak honestly and the humility to listen deeply. Because when we understand each other, love does not just survive, it grows richer, deeper, and more meaningful. Honesty through communication. Honesty is the oxygen of love. Without it, relationships suffocate under the weight of lies, pretenses, and half-truths. And the only way honesty lives and breathes in love is through communication. Where there is honesty in words, actions, and intentions, love thrives. Where there is dishonesty, even the strongest passion withers. At the heart of honesty is openness. In relationships, being honest means showing up as your true self, not wearing a mask, not pretending to be who you think your partner wants you to be, but daring to be authentic. That authenticity is communicated through words, saying what you truly feel, what you truly want, and what you truly fear. When partners communicate with honesty, they say to each other, I trust you with the real me. That level of vulnerability deepens intimacy like nothing else can. Too often, people fear honesty because they worry it will hurt their partner, so they hide their feelings, withhold their disappointments, or keep silent about their needs. But silence does not protect love. It slowly poisons it. For example, if one partner feels neglected but never speaks up, resentment builds quietly. Over time, that unspoken frustration turns into anger, distance, or even bitterness. But if they communicate honestly, I feel hurt when I don't feel prioritized. It may sting at first, but it opens the door to healing and change. Painful truths are always better than comfortable lies. Honesty also creates clarity. Misunderstandings are common in love, and often they arise from assumptions. We assume our partner knows what we want. We assume they know why we are upset. We assume they understand our silence. But assumptions create confusion, and confusion weakens love. Honesty cuts through the fog, saying, this is how I feel, or this is what I need, brings light where there was darkness. Communication grounded in honesty eliminates guessing games and allows love to stand on solid ground. Furthermore, honesty is essential in building trust. A relationship cannot be strong if partners doubt each other's words. Every lie, even a small one, plants a seed of suspicion. If they lied about this, what else might they be hiding? Slowly, doubt replaces confidence. But when partners practice consistent honesty, even about small details, it reassures the heart. For example, simply saying, I forgot, instead of inventing an excuse, builds more trust than a polished lie ever could. Communication rooted in honesty tells your partner, you can rely on my words. Honesty also means being truthful with ourselves. Sometimes, people avoid communication not because they want to lie to their partner, but because they have not yet faced their own feelings. They avoid admitting they are hurt, insecure, or struggling, but love requires courage, the courage to look within, name what we feel, and then share it with our partner. That inner honesty, communicated outwardly, creates a relationship that is not built on illusions but on reality. Of course, honesty must be balanced with kindness. Brutal honesty without sensitivity can wound more than it heals. Saying, you're wrong, or you always fail, is not honest communication. It's criticism disguised as truth. Real honesty communicates with compassion. This hurt me. I need more support, or I feel lonely. It speaks from the heart, not from the ego. When honesty is paired with love, it does not break a partner down. It lifts them up, guiding the relationship toward growth. Finally, honesty is freedom. In a relationship where both partners communicate openly and truthfully, there is no fear of being misunderstood, no pressure to pretend, no walls between hearts. That freedom allows love to breathe fully and deeply. It allows partners to focus on nurturing each other instead of hiding from each other. So, honesty through communication is not just about avoiding lies. It is about choosing truth as the language of love. It is about saying, I trust you enough to be real and I care enough to share what is true. Because in the end, honesty is not the enemy of love, it is the greatest protector of it. Connection through communication, love is more than just a feeling, it is an ongoing act of connection. And that connection is sustained, strengthened, and renewed every single day through communication. Without communication, two people may live under the same roof yet feel worlds apart, but with communication, even when distance separates them, their hearts remain close. Connection is not about proximity, it is about presence, and presence is expressed through words, through listening, and through the intentional effort to engage. Connection through communication begins with consistency. A loving relationship does not thrive only on big, dramatic declarations. It grows through small, steady moments of connection. A good morning message, a thoughtful "How was your day?" phone call, or a genuine compliment may seem simple, but they are threads that weave two hearts closer together. These daily exchanges create a rhythm, a heartbeat, that keeps love alive. They remind each partner, I am here, I care, you matter to me. Think of love like a garden. If you water it only once in a while, it withers. But if you tend to it daily, even with just a little care, it blossoms. Communication is that daily water. Without it, connection dries up. With it, love flourishes. Connection also requires presence in conversation. Too often, people communicate but do not connect because they are distracted. They talk while scrolling through their phones, nod absent-mindedly, or give half-hearted answers. But real connection is different. It is undivided attention. When you put away distractions, look into your partner's eyes, and truly listen, you are telling them, you are worth my full focus. That kind of communication deepens connection in a way that nothing else can. Another aspect of connection through communication is emotional sharing. Love is not sustained by facts alone. It is nourished by feelings. Sharing fears, hopes, insecurities, and dreams builds intimacy. When one partner says, I'm nervous about this opportunity, or I dream of building this future, they are offering a piece of their inner world, and when the other listens, validates, and responds, the connection becomes stronger. Emotional openness creates a bond that is unbreakable. Connection also grows through playfulness and laughter in communication. Relationships should not be only about solving problems or discussing responsibilities. They should also be about joy. Jokes, light-hearted banter, teasing, and shared laughter are forms of communication that bring delight to love. They remind both partners that connection is not only about being serious together, it is also about being happy together. But perhaps the most powerful form of connection is created in moments of vulnerability. Saying, I'm scared, I feel insecure, or I need you, takes courage. Vulnerability is risky because it opens the door to rejection, but it is also the deepest expression of trust. When communication allows for vulnerability, connection moves from the surface to the soul. Partners stop being just companions. They become true allies in life. Connection through communication also protects love during challenges. Every relationship will face storms, stress, disagreements, or external pressures. When communication breaks down in those moments, partners drift apart, feeling isolated in their struggles. But when they keep talking, when they say, I'm hurt, but I still want to work this out, or I'm frustrated, but I don't want to lose us, the connection becomes stronger than the conflict. Communication becomes the anchor that holds love steady in rough waters. Finally, connection is not a one-time achievement. It is a lifelong practice. Love is dynamic, and so is communication. As people grow, change, and face new chapters in life, they must reconnect again and again. That is why communication is the lifeline. It allows partners to rediscover each other continually, to fall in love not just once, but over and over. So, connection through communication is not just about words. It is about presence, consistency, and emotional openness. It is about showing up daily in small ways and brave ways, reminding your partner, "You are not alone. I am with you." Because when communication is alive, connection is alive. And when connection is alive, love never fades. Heartbeat of love through communication. Every living thing needs a heartbeat to survive. The heart pumps life, giving blood through the body, keeping every organ alive and connected. Without it, life ends. In the same way, communication is the heartbeat of love. It is what gives energy, rhythm, and vitality to a relationship. Without communication, even the strongest love can slowly fade away. But when communication flows freely, love not only survives, it thrives, becoming stronger with each beat. Think about how the heartbeat works. It is not loud, dramatic, or attention-seeking. It is steady, quiet, and constant. Communication in love is the same. It does not always have to be grand speeches or romantic poetry. It is found in the everyday words and gestures that keep partners emotionally connected. A soft "I love you," a caring check-in, a message that says, "I'm thinking of you." These are the beats that sustain love's heart. The heartbeat of love through communication is also about rhythm. Just as the heart beats in a consistent pattern, relationships need consistent communication. A love that is spoken only occasionally struggles to find balance, but a love expressed regularly maintains harmony. That rhythm of connection creates a sense of stability, reminding both partners that they are emotionally secure. Inconsistency creates doubt, but steady communication reassures the heart. More importantly, communication as the heartbeat of love gives life to understanding, trust, honesty, and connection, the very elements we have already explored. Without communication, trust withers because silence breeds suspicion. Without communication, understanding vanishes because no one can read another's mind. Without communication, honesty is hidden, and without communication, connection dissolves. Communication is not just another part of love. It is the pulse that sustains every other part. When communication is alive, love feels alive. Words can heal wounds, ease fears, and rekindle passion. A heartfelt apology can mend broken trust. A simple expression of gratitude can make a partner feel valued. A moment of listening without judgment can make someone feel safe. These moments may seem small, but together, they are the steady beats that keep love strong. On the other hand, when communication stops, love begins to flatline. Silence can be louder than words. Partners begin to feel unseen, unheard, and unloved. Small misunderstandings grow into major conflicts. Distance creeps in, not physical distance, but emotional distance. And without the heartbeat of communication, even a once vibrant love can quietly die. That is why every couple must guard communication as they would guard their very heartbeat. But let's not forget, communication as the heartbeat of love is not only about speaking, it is also about listening. A heart does not only pump blood out, it also receives it back. In the same way, communication is a two-way rhythm of giving and receiving. Speaking without listening creates imbalance, just as listening without speaking creates silence. True communication is a healthy heartbeat, an exchange that circulates love between two people continuously. What makes this metaphor so powerful is that a heartbeat never takes a break. It doesn't stop when life is busy, when stress is high, or when we are tired. Similarly, communication in love cannot be something we do only when convenient. It must be a constant, daily act. Just as the heart beats without pause, communication must remain the lifeline of the relationship. So let us remember this truth. Love without communication is like a body without a heartbeat, lifeless, fragile, and destined to fail. But love with communication is strong, resilient, and full of life. It grows deeper with every word, every gesture, every moment of listening. Communication is not just the heartbeat of love, it is love itself in motion. Keep it steady, keep it strong, and your love will endure through every storm, every season, and every chapter of life. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have seen, love is not just a feeling. It is a living force, one that needs constant nourishment to survive. And that nourishment comes through communication. It is communication that builds trust, allowing us to rely on each other with confidence. It is communication that fosters understanding, helping us see the world through the eyes of the one we love. It is communication that sustains honesty, giving us the courage to share our truths, even when it is difficult. It is communication that creates connection, binding us together not only in grand moments, but in the quiet, everyday rhythms of life. And ultimately, it is communication that becomes the very heartbeat of love, giving it life, rhythm, and strength. When couples stop communicating, they do not just stop talking. They stop building, they stop healing, they stop growing. But when communication is alive, love becomes resilient. It becomes a bond that can withstand storms, a light that can outshine darkness, and a home where both hearts can rest safely. So if you want your love to last, do not only celebrate it in moments of passion or grand gestures. Celebrate it daily, through words of kindness, through listening ears, through honesty and care. Speak when it is easy, speak when it is hard, and listen always with your heart. Because in the end, it is not love alone that keeps us together. It is the heartbeat of communication that makes love eternal. Thank you.